Stream. There we go. Maybe. I clicked the button to start streaming and then it stopped. I don't even know what happened. I don't even know. God love technology. Anyway. So we'll do this for about an hour and then I'll switch over to Ask Me Anything for channel members. It seems to be popular. So hang out to the end if you want to do the AMA. Ask Me Anything. And Netflix earnings came out. Tesla tomorrow. Welcome to the wonderful world of crazy. Amazon, in their infinite wisdom, said that they're going to replace 600,000 jobs with robots the day after AWS took out like half the internet. Whatever. Genius stuff. I'm sure that's going to all go over well, right? So I cannot find what I was going to. There it is. So we've got earnings all week here. Coca-Cola, GM had like the best day they've had in like 20 years or something like that. I don't know. I didn't look at it. Supposedly they were up like 15%. That's normal, right? ISRG, Texas Instruments, Capital One, Mattel, EQT. Bunch of fun stuff. Tomorrow we got Amphenol in the morning, GE Vernova, Veritiv, Boston Scientific, Hilton, AT&T, Taylor Morrison Tech, Thermo Fisher Scientific, Winnebago. And after the close, Tesla, IBM, Kinder Morgan, Quantum Scope, QS, and Alcoa finally coming in there, Lam Research. We'll see what happens. Then we got American Airlines. I've been pretty bullish on that one. I don't have any exposure right now, but been pretty bullish. AutoNation, they run a bunch of dealerships, all different brands. They've been buying up. I don't know what changed. Like, it used to be that like Ford, GM, and stuff like that wouldn't let you own more than one dealer, but now it seems that AutoNation's able to buy up dealers, franchises all over the place. Not even sure how that works, but whatever. So we've got, Netflix earnings came out. They missed by like $1 billion or dollar earnings per share or whatever, claiming that some sort of tax dispute with Brazil is the main issue. I don't know. It was a big miss and getting punished for that. Back to the roadmap line, looks like. Potentially. And Tesla earnings tomorrow. It's probably going to be the best earnings ever. Somebody this morning was like, why would that be? It's like, apparently you haven't been paying attention. But I digress. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, and not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instruments, including stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. If you want somebody to tell you what buttons to push, hire or consult a financial advisor. It's not me. I don't tell you what to do. Just a guy on the internet who sometimes makes some money in the market. If you want to follow along, great. Sometimes, here you go. Year to date, about 29 grand in this account. Lost my 90%. I was winning 100% there for a while, but down a little bit. Doesn't have my trade in here from yesterday. I don't know. Did another trade today on, I've been trading these IndexX puts. Pretty spicy. So interestingly enough, you can do these. I've been testing it out whether I should do one in the morning or one in the afternoon. I found that the afternoon one pays better with less risk time. Like giving it a whole day, there's a lot that can go wrong. Giving it just an hour and a half, 2 hours, So what I do on this, thought I'd just show it off here. I talked about this the other morning. I usually come in here, 0-day options, run down through here, find the ones that are pretty far down here. I look at the touch percentage. Usually I go for a touch percentage about 5. Somewhere down in here, and I'll sell that one and then buy the one that's like 50 points lower. That's like ridiculous right now, but because that expired and it's gone. But I've been getting like anywhere from, I guess, the low end $20 and the high end like $1.15 or something like that for these per contract, and not bad for roll in here at like 130 or 2, maybe even 230. Throw it on there, make a few bucks, make some lunch money. You'd be like, well, what's the risk? The risk is $5,000. If this thing just took a nosedive, it'd be $5,000 lost. But the real risk is like 0.01%. I did get hit the other day, but I also was being stupid when I put it on, so was not thinking. Anyway, that's interesting. I've been doing them. You can see them in here. Yesterday's isn't on here for some reason, and today's won't be on there till tomorrow. I did 2 contracts today. Made $40 each, so that's $80 profit. Not bad. Not bad at all. So, calendar. This week's just weird. With the government still shut down. It's like a countdown to next Wednesday for the FOMC. They don't open the government before the end of the month. Well, FOMC is kind of flying blind. Do they continue with the rate cut? The markets are still counting 2 rate cuts. They're still pricing in 2 rate cuts. We're up to 40.5 days on average on the betting. Should be interesting. How long will the government shutdown last? Longest shutdown on record is if we go longer than 35 days. So we're already at 21. The forecast. Right now we're betting on the longest ever. So we had a little dip here. I guess that was on the news that there could be a deal later this week, maybe. So it was yesterday. Today, ramping back up a little bit. Before that, we were out to 45 days, looks like. There's not an option longer than 45. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. It seems that some of you are concerned, based on the surveys and stuff, some of you are concerned that this government shutdown affects everything. What are you worried about? Like, let me know in the chat. What kind of detrimental effects have you experienced from the government being shut down? I mean, if you're military, yeah, that's like kind of sucks. Or if you have a government job and you're having to work and not getting paid, but every time we've done this in the past, Congress makes it right. They back pay everybody. You got to float it until then, but I guess that sucks. But if you're not a government worker, I haven't really had any detrimental effect that I can put a finger on. This may last a while. Already got those resolved to no. So we'll see. It's kind of crazy. So the last couple times, I've gotten some feedback both ways. Like, people didn't want me to rehash, but some people wanted me to rehash kind of the day. I do this in the morning though, so today we're just sitting here, not really breaking out, not really breaking down. We're just in line with where I expected it to be. Come over and look at it on the low time frames. We're just sitting here where I kind of thought we might mess around. This is the path until we break down below this right here. If we get below that, something else is cooking. But as long as we're above that, that's probably the path for now. Now it can stall out short. I mean, it could stall out here and turn down and then do that. It doesn't have to hit this ideal target. It could hit this, and then somewhere up here. So that's what we got cooking. It's kind of the outlook. I don't know. I mean, that's my best guess what's going to happen. Right there. Gold took, it was like somebody said it was a 4.5 standard deviation move down. And this should happen once every 240,000 candles, based on that being a 4 standard deviation move down. But at the same time, look at this. We were running outside the 3 standard deviation from the roadmap line. Anytime we've done that in the past, we went into a consolidation. And I don't know why anybody would be surprised that we spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days outside the 3 standard deviations, and guess what? I doubled down on GLL because I expected this to pull back. It would not surprise me to come all the way back down here. This was a FOMO move right here. It went absolutely parabolic outside the standard deviations. If anybody's shocked that gold is pulling back, it was coming. So there's the GLL potential to pop back up. This is short gold, ultra short. Don't want to hold this a long time, really. The ultra. It just split to some. I drew that before it split. So there we go. Now remember, reverse splits on ETFs not the same as reverse splits on stocks. So, but as long as gold is going higher, this is going to plummet into, right back down. If gold goes on a rip again, this will go in the toilet. If gold pulls back, this will probably shoot higher, but not crazy. We're not going to go crazy numbers here. Anyway. Somebody, I was on the show with Jack at Market Masters. Somebody was like, is this the time to buy oil? We're not outside the 3 standard deviations yet. We poke down below that. Get out below the 3 standard deviation. That would be time to watch. But as long as we're hanging inside, that would be no big deal. Right there. All right. So that's kind of the general highlights. I'll take requests for like 45 minutes, then we'll switch over to members only, and we'll wrap it up from there. So the way this works, I take requests. You need to type in capital letters of the ticker that I can just type in here. If you give me a company name, that's asking me to do work while I'm trying to do a stream. So just use the ticker. All right, use the ticker that I can look up very easily. If you give me some kind of crypto name or something like that, I don't know. There's like 30,000 tickers listed on TradingView, so I need something I can just type in really easily. And yeah, it's standard deviations from the 144 EMA. Yeah, I gave out the code to Turnmire Trading Lab members in Discord for this indicator. So if you're a Turnmire Trading Lab member, you've got the code in Discord. You can go grab it and put it on your own chart. And we'll do this, like I said, I'll hit channel members first, pick up everybody else, and then we'll switch over at 6 o'clock, and then channel members, you can ask whatever else you want. So, alrighty. First up, looks like, I'm going to say GA is good afternoon, so Lulu. General Rush, good to see you, sir. As always, almost to the promised land. So until we get here, I still expect it. Resistance is up here, going higher. There's a gap. That's resistance 2. So layer of resistance here. And that resistance here. And here's the target right down here. And if we get below that, we could come on down lower to the 618. This whole big move up over here. This first move down, second move retrace. Yeah, that's the A, B, and this would be the C correction. And ideally, it will hit this level and set up a giant upside potential. TM 2 minutes. Let's look at weekly chart. See if we bounce off that 618 down there. Could set up this giant move, but we're talking about years down the road. So that's Lulu for you. Amazon. I cover this every morning, so really quickly. If you want to know any of the Mag 7s, they're covered every morning in depth. Amazon holding on to the roadmap line. Get above the 618. And we'll have to move that down to the bottom. 618 sits right there on that high. We break through. Tips the odds we're going up. If not, watch out below. This can do that move down and that move down back to a lower low than we made back here in April. Mo. Going down for the roadmap line bounce. Philip Morris getting whacked. Cruising on lower. That did. Look at that. Perfect. First move down. That's an A. Retrace to a 618 B. And here we go. C. It's almost too perfect. So maybe that was it. That one could go further. So when we look at Mo, you asked for Mo, not for Philip Morris, but I knew about Philip Morris. First move down, retrace, potential to hit the roadmap line right there. It's another ABC potential. That's Mo for you. Beyond me, why would you mess with this? Meme stock. You know this is going back to 50 cents, right? Potentially out of business. I wouldn't touch this. I wouldn't touch this. If you just gave me money and told me to buy it for you, I wouldn't touch this. So dangerous. So many people are going to get burned. It's not like all of a sudden they turn and this ship around. It's just a short squeeze. Meme stock crap. Be careful. All-time low is 50 cents. Short squeeze. Yeah, maybe you can get in on it. Maybe you can get out. Maybe they just halt it till it doesn't play out anymore. Be careful out there. It's danger written all over it. Tomorrow. Well, failure to launch so far. As long as Bitcoin's gonna be stupid, this isn't going anywhere. So right now we've got, here was the high, there was the low, and we're sitting on the 618. Unable to get through. Rejected once, twice. If we get through, up here be the target. Somewhere around 40, maybe 50. We get lucky, and it plays out the bigger 618. From this high to this low. We're stuck at that too. If we get through that one, actually get some more, we rejected over here and came down, made a higher low. If we can actually break through, this could set it up for that triple digit move. Could be a lucky thing. And that's an echo right there. So we'll see. Anything above 50, we really happy. At this point, I've doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down, and averaged down all through the single digits. Sit on a good chunk if we could just get the pop, and don't stop. SD Lauder. Yeah, it's got a nice bounce right up to the 1618. Watch out. That was the bounce right there. I would expect it to retrace again. That's what I would expect it to do. Didn't really have a wave 2 in here. That's the first pullback. Continuation. Finding resistance at this prior high. Got the gap fill and it struggled through. Then we popped. Got to that high. Now I'd expect another pullback. Came up shy of this target, but it was close enough that bigger picture, this could be the target. But we've got to clear that 618 level right here. Got to clear that to get up here. So there'll be resistance at 155 and potential to go up to like 3,000. Be crazy. There's some crazy stuff setting up and out here. It's like Dollar General has a crazy setup. Talking about years down the road though. 2030s, 2040s. Hey, look at the climb speed over here. Yeah, right there. We do that. Well out into the late 2030s. Maybe a decade away from doing that. But crazy stuff, right? CLF. So that also has this bounce potential. Not quite as crazy. So far doing it. That would put us up here like 110. Says if it's an A, B, C, we would stop in this zone. If it's a 1, 2, 3, we would be up here at 410. Now, zooming out. Yeah, so that's the move down. Trend down. Do we get the continuation? Was this it? Was that the 1, 2, 3? And this is just an intermediate bounce. So you got to watch for the breakout above that. Got to watch for the breakout above this stuff right here. right here. If we can't break above that, and we turn down and go lower low than that, this was a 3-wave correction. That was a 1-2, and then we're going to go to 0 probably. I'd bank on this being a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, crazy 4, 4, maybe a circle, 5 up here. That's how I would work right there if it was going to be bullish, but all starts with a break above that level right there. And then we got to break through that one too. Then we got to get through this to get that continuation. We'll probably pull back, rise up, pull back, rise up. And that could last a long time. Few years. Right there. So I'm glad y'all are bringing some interesting stuff, at least today, that might have a long-term bullish potential. Look at A-Rock. Let's see what we got. Just keeps rejecting that 618. Rejection, rejection, rejection. These are warning signs right here. That may be the A. This is a complicated B, and we may see one little spike up and then down for a C. Docu. Nice move. As long as we hold this high or low, it just barely held onto it. This might be a wave 4. We go up for the wave 5. Now, this shows up on the weekly chart really clear. This was the wave 1. This was the wave 2. This was the wave 3. This was the wave 4 potentially. We bottom right in here. Put it right there. So the wave 5 potential, and because of the depth of this 4, the 5 doesn't put us much further up. So we may only get this move right in here and then retrace back to here before we can go higher again. So Docu mucked it up a little bit and might be stuck in this like kind of range here for a little bit, bouncing around between 100 and 70 before we can get some momentum to break out. So as long as this holds here, it's potential to be done on the downside. And this, we want to see this hold above this over here. I'm long Docu, like just like this is what I'm kind of banking on, is that this is the one. Let me just grab the numbers here. That's the 1, that's the 2, that's the 3, that's the 4. And we'll get a 5, maybe right up in here. Now 5 can extend. It's just not very likely. Usually 1 and 5 are the same size. Pretty close. It's pretty standard. That will be the same as that right there. And that would put us just barely higher high. So that'd be like a double top, and then we come back down, probably make a low somewhere in the vicinity of 4. That would be the higher degree 2. This would be like a 1. This would be now a 2. And then we have the 3 potential. And to figure that out, that 3 could put us at a new all-time high. That was the 1. That was the 2. In the vicinity of the 4. The 3 puts us right up here if it's going to be bullish. Then 4. Probably somewhere back down in here, well above this, and then 5 takes it on up. So if this plays out, that would be the bullish potential on Docu. But we need to see that upside. I'll probably get the heck out of here as we come up through. I didn't want to get stuck in a 4. I was hoping this was a little more bullish, and this was like a nested 1, 2, 1, 2, but it turns out looks more like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and that would be a 5, and then this is a 2. Just with the nature of this right here, looking like a 4. Anyway, that was the deep dive into that one. More than you probably ever wanted to know about it. MP. I could be totally wrong. It could just be, yeah. Rewind 1 second back to here. This could be the A wave down. This could be some sort of B wave bull, not even coming up to a 618. And we get a C wave down and it go out of business. So that's like the oops, I didn't get it right. So MP materials, be careful. That hit the 72 target or whatever. Tagged 101. I tagged it. Watch out for the retrace to the roadmap line. These aren't mystical, magical patterns. They're repeatable things. And that, see, that was the lowest low. So that move up, that was a retrace. That was like a 5 up. That was a deep 2. That might be stalled out for now. That low, that move up, that low. Yeah, we're in the vicinity of being topped out for now. This can definitely come on back down before we bounce and come on higher. ACN. I don't really have a bullish case on that one right now. Just don't. I'll be hornswoggled. Look at that. That was an A, a B, and that was the C. Got it. Tagged it. That could be the bottom, but it could, it can extend. And these are the extensions. So I'm not calling a bottom until we get a reversal. The reversal has to look something like this. Higher low, and then break back through. And then we can start looking for higher highs again. And this was a big, long retrace. Gonna have to get through that 618 at 331. And then that would be the upside resistance up here. Right there. But it's got to get through that, and that, and that. It's got the resistance stacked against it. So I need to see it move up, retrace, 618, break through, confirm, and keep going. I probably won't trade this one, but just throwing it out there. CXW. I keep getting alerts. Back to the roadmap line on the weekly chart. Daily chart looks dead. It's not really been a very strong trender. Almost spent a year just doing nothing. Doing nothing. So I would think that that would be the A, this would be the B, and we'd be looking for a finishing move. on that one. Hopefully that helps, VMC. Looking for this to come back down to the roadmap line. I made an extreme move there. And beautiful ABC, right down to it. First, hey, this is what I was talking about. Like this is that's an ABC move right into the target. Actually went a little deeper than I thought it should, but that's great. Then we made the move up, made a higher low, busted up through the roadmap line, back tested. That would have been a great place to get long. It ripped right through the conservative target, the more aggressive target, the more aggressive target, almost to a super, super aggressive target. And now I would expect it to retrace. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That move. Yeah, right to the 127, right to the 1448. If we retrace here, we can pop up to here. Now it could hold on to this. There's a possibility we hold on to that and get that little extension, but I would be careful expecting big things right there on Vulcan. All right. Bitcoin gets covered every morning pretty extensively. And DCTH, rejection of the roadmap line, probably going lower. Mo already covered, FCX. So we've got this move up. Is it an A or is it a 1? Got this 3-wave retrace. It's definitely an A, B, C. So is this a B or a 2? I don't know. Then we've got to move up and a retrace. And if we move up through that, this could be a C or a 3. That's the beautiful potential here. And if it's a C or a 3, we'll probably stop in this vicinity. A C will get us to there. If it's a 3, should get up to here. That's the difference. Doesn't matter if it's an A or a 1. Doesn't matter if it's a 2 or a B. On that rise, the C is here and the 3 is here on the target. Which one's common for both? That level. It'll blow through that level. It should get to that level even if it's a C or if it's a 3. So that's the beauty of what this has set up right here. Continuation. Now you got to be able to hold on is the problem. Like, I don't want to hold on through a pullback. Well, that's asking too much here. So we definitely can pull back here. Get a 618 retrace. And what'll help? I guess kind of help, but not really help. Tell you if this starts making extensions on the way there. Like if we do find support right here at 38.50, and then we do rally up and get extensions right through 55 before we get another pullback, that might be indicative that we're going to get a wave 3 extension that takes us on up in here instead of just stopping right in here. It will be 5 waves. Now, if we do stall out right in here and go for a 5th wave up, that's indicating we're going to stall in that area. It's going to be a C, and that's A, B, C up. Well, trend coming into it was down, correction up, continuation back down. That's how you kind of figure out where we're going next for FCX. Alrighty. Dun, dun, dun. PFE. Weisel. So this has, like, if you zoom out and look at it, that was kind of a bubble type excitement there. Went exponential, chopped around, dropping back down. Is it the bottom? That's a big question, because this potentially was 5 up into that high. This retrace came down and hit the 618. So now we have this potential setup. If we can break through this 618 right here, sets up that same kind of move up in this zone. But time frame, right? That's the whole thing. Like, this could take, there's the climb rate. This could be the climb rate to be up there. That could be 2040. Big crazy numbers, but it's also like a long freaking time. Can you hold on that long? I don't know. There'll probably be big swings along the way. ATLX. Yeah. Garbage. Absolute garbage. Dumpster fire bullshit. Nothing to see here, everybody. Moving on. Moving on. The reverse splits are just nasty. DJT. Look at that crap. Just doing nothing. Now what's funny, DJT on 15 trades, DJT made $3,000 trading it. Got 1,200 shares. It's basically a break even. So far, this is held, even though it was deep. So far, that is a higher low. Barely. As long as we hold a higher low, there's the resistance. If we get through it, bigger upside. This can just kick off a la short squeeze here. Get below this, the extension to the downside is here. 14. And then if we get below this, the extension is probably down at 10. Realistically. Right down there. So there you go. I can't make it be bullish. I can't make it do that thing. It's got the pattern to rip. As long as it holds on. Above that. Right there. As long as it holds on, we can pop it. But what's going to make it do that? I have no idea. We did push down below. You know, this is a warning sign right here. Breaking down below this uptrend of lows. That was a warning sign. Then we back tested it right here. And continued down. So this can easily develop downside. We saw that. Same pattern happened here. Broke down through the uptrend of lows. Back tested here. And things got nasty. Three-wave retrace. Back down below the roadmap line. Potential to continue down. DJT can easily go lower low than this low back here. We broke down below the uptrend. As long as we were holding it here, things look good. When we broke down, caution. So there you go. And let's see. Let's go ahead and set a 15-minute timer. Leave it for all channel members. All right, so I'll go hit the, for just channel subscribers, I will hit the requests for the next 15 minutes, and then we'll switch over to pick up everybody else. So Adobe hasn't gotten down as far as I thought it would yet. We didn't even touch the roadmap line here. Broke down below, didn't get the extension yet. Bouncing back up, that's resistance, aka the roadmap line. If we reject it, watch out for another revisit down here, lower low. I mean, that was already the lowest low on the pattern. It's a downtrend, so downtrend, 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 accelerating downtrend. And this is a bigger pattern too. First move down, retrace, next move down. Would not surprise me to see a bigger downside on Adobe. That doesn't mean it doesn't do a large retrace here, but that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could just consolidate in here for a little bit and then flush it on down. This looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4. As long as we hold below that. 5 would put us down here. Lower than that low back here. And that would be an A, B, C correction. Down in the low 200s. There you go. And RKLB. Yeah, I haven't messed with this because it hasn't done another retrace. Watch out. It's sucking hypoxia here. Need a bigger retrace. Hadn't even retested the breakout, so. Where could it go? 94, 125, but remember, they don't make no money. 68 price to sales. That's pretty ridiculous. So they lose a lot of money. Their sale, 69 years of sales to cover the share price. How many earnings? Well, they don't make any positive earnings, so infinite earnings. Can I turn that ship around? Sure. Anything's possible. SLV, V. Put the fingers on the right keys, not the wrong keys. That bounced off the breakouts. Here's the retrace. Potential right there. And CRM. Like I said, we'll hit the just subscribers for a few minutes, and then we'll, here in a minute, we'll pick back up on channel members. So that was a lower high, lower high, lower high. 3-wave retrace off the lowest low. Be careful. That can extend. Yeah, that bounce doesn't count at this point. That was low, that was the high. Extended, didn't get an extension all the way down. This is a 3-wave retrace right now. 1, 2, 3. If we stop in this vicinity, right here, that is a caution for going further down. I would expect this thing to come on down. Revisit at least this level, if not this level. It's kind of got a head and shoulders cooking. That could accelerate. That breaks down again. All right, moving on. Let's see. I already picked up ACN. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I did that one. GLW. Watch out for that to retrace. Let's see. MDT. Choppiness. Choppy. Struggling through there. And then we have another right there. So if we can push higher, 113, then we may chop more. That looks kind of like an upside down inverse head and shoulders, but then it's got shoulder. I don't know, man. Like that looks impulsive down, and this looks like a corrective retrace. The 618 right there. If we tag that, turn back down, break below that, it's probably going lower low, and it could be pretty major lower low. Like 54, maybe even lower. Something like that. Wouldn't surprise me. That's MDT and Rigetti. Come back to the roadmap line. Retest the breakout. Retest the roadmap line. That would be my expectation. That one. BBAI. Back to the roadmap line. BBAI has a potential to go bullish though, so it's a nice nested pattern. 12, 15, 25 on the upside. UPS has no bottom in sight. Looking for 75 down here. If we can hold this, like it's at this floor right now, which was a low from back here in COVID. But if it pokes through, we have this 618 retrace that we may need to go visit. It's on the bigger picture here. From this low back here, this is the ultimate low at this point. That low at 38 to this high up here at 235. If we push through that area right there, I would expect that to hold if we're going to go up again. If we poke on through, this could go make a new low at 29. And not good on UPS. Right. Some missteps in the company, I guess you might say. So right now, the concern I have is that looks like an A wave. That looks like B wave type price action. And this looks like it could be a C wave. It takes up to this 42 area, which would be nice. But that can result in a lower low. Trend down, pullback, continuation. Maybe go out of business for Riot. MSTR. We're in the cautionary spot. If we break down below this 270, probably coming on down here below 200. That's this first pullback, retrace, next pullback. Puts us right in this zone. Right in here. That's the high. That's an A, a B, and a C wave down. And that's what, like if we start pushing through right here, 270, that's what it looks like we're going to do. Soundhound. Got just about 5 minutes left before we switch over to the members only Ask Me Anything stream. So Soundhound. Now I had this potential on here that it could be in A, B, C. But once we started pushing up through, tips the odds, we're going on up. I've been quite bullish on this. Looking for that 30. If we tag 30, I'm off of this. Like, gonna leave it alone. I've been selling $15, $16, $17, $18 puts for weeks now. Coming up through here. Once we popped up through, I started selling puts. And let's see. So number one recommendation to read Elliott Wave is it's the Elliott Wave Bible by Frost and Pritchard. I mean, it's called Elliott Wave Principles and Practices or whatever by Frost and Pritchard. AVGO. So this has a lower high. It's a cautionary. May retrace to the roadmap line. WMT. Yeah, we hit the target on Walmart. 109. Retesting the breakouts. If we can hold it, you know, we got to hold on to that 105.56 breakout. If we don't, probably coming back in this vicinity. Roadmap line 618. Right there. And thought I did A-Lab. A-Lab. Back to the roadmap line. It's not magic. That even looks like a head and shoulders. Drop. Drop. So it has a little bit more to go. And UUBT. Back to the roadmap line. Watch for this to either hold and we go higher again, or if we don't, we may come back to the lows. It didn't draw that very flat. Back to the lows down here. That's QUBT. FN. Hit the target. Be careful. Come back to the roadmap line and then retest the breakout on FN. Food. That's so far doing the retrace. 50% retrace. Watch out. And NSP. Going lower. No reversal in sight so far. No reversal in sight. All right, I got down to the bottom, so I'll scoot back up, pick up where I was on Filer, ATLX, DJT, Trimble. Pick up where I was on the channel members. So if your name's in green with a little star, we're going to switch over to channel member stream here in 2 minutes. If you're just a channel subscriber, you can join as a member and come join us on the member-only stream. It's a perk of being a channel member. Seems to be a popular perk, so we'll keep streaming on there until everybody's satisfied. So there's the resistance right there. If we glance off of that, we can do an A wave down, B wave retrace, C wave down to a bigger support level. But if we can break through, that sets the odds we're coming up here at the minimum. Maybe to there, maybe to there. So that's just the market roadmap bounce pattern. Trend coming up, retrace, continuation. And VOYG. I'm not sure what you want me to look at. Not enough candles to do anything with. And so far, that's a downtrend. IPOs, which is what that looks like, start out bearish. So this looks corrective and overlapping, and I would expect this to be a trend, a pullback, and a continuation lower. That's what I expect on that one. SLV. I think I already talked about this one. Maybe I just talked about gold. That Fell in the breakout, retrace. Very commonly, we see it come up and bounce off, just make barely a higher high, then come all the way back down to the 618 retest before it can go higher. Likely, we're going to see this up in the 70, possibly 115 area, maybe 120. But